It's a murder that has gone unsolved for nearly 60 years.
Alderman Ben Lewis was the first black elected official from Chicago's West Side and a prominent politician in the city. On February 26, 1963, he won his second full term on Chicago's City Council and soon announced a run for Congress. 2 days later, he was found shot to death in his ward office, and to this day, the case remains unsolved. ProPublica reporter Mick Dumke has been digging deeper into the case and says it's no accident that Chicago police and the FBI never solved the murder.
He joins us this morning to tell us more. Mick, thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
So I think this is a story that's not as well known as it should be, especially happening in 1963. Why is that?
Well, that's a good question, and it's one of the reasons that we wanted to do this story is because in addition to the fact that justice was never brought, the case remaining unsolved for all this time, the fact that it seems to be fading into history a little bit, I found troubling. I mean, here you have a sitting elected official. Obviously, the will of the voters in his ward was that he should continue to serve them, and then he's basically executed apparently it looks like a professional hit in his own office. And so we thought that we needed to shine a new light on the case and at the very least remind people that it had happened and to raise some questions about why it never was solved.
Yeah, so what is the prevailing hypothesis about a motive here?
Well, there were a lot of potential motives, but I think that it was very clear. You mentioned the timing. He had just won re-election. He had started hinting and basically leaking to the media at the time that he wanted to run for Congress, and he probably would have won had he been able to move forward with those plans. And so it really looks like politics was involved. And certainly when you look at the way the investigation unfolded, the leads they did pursue, the leads that weren't pursued, it really has the look of political pressure being applied to make sure that politicians, police officers, members of organized crime who were close to politicians and police officers, that none of these leads were pursued very vigorously. Instead, the investigation tended to focus on Alderman Lewis's personal problems and faux pas in a lot of ways.
So if the local police
questions were seemingly ignored. Sorry.
So let's say the local police didn't follow up and it was a political thing. Why didn't the FBI step in after all these years and get this done?
That's a great question. At the time, the FBI really thought this was not their jurisdiction. They determined that there wasn't any clear federal offense. And certainly in that era, the notion of a murder being investigated by federal authorities, that wasn't very common. So they thought this was the responsibility of local officials. Over the years, as we mentioned in the story, some of the key players or people who were close to Alderman Lewis, who probably should have been investigated, including a former gangster named Lenny Patrick. The FBI did follow him, but for some reason, they never really looked closely at his ties to Ben Lewis and potential ties to this murder case.
So was there nobody in his inner circle or in the community that, protested and said, we've got to do something about this? It seems like it just kind of disappeared.
It did disappear, it certainly faded, and there were people who spoke up and said, we need to do more. I mean, even soon after the crime, the Chicago Defender, the nation's leading black newspaper at that time, basically there was a column in there that said the police are very busy, but it looks like they're ignoring some of the key leads in the case. And I bring that up because race is very much a part of this. You'd mentioned at the beginning, this was the first black alderman from the West Side at a time that the West Side was transitioning from predominantly white to predominantly black. And the backdrop of this murder is that there were very powerful people who wanted to maintain control of these communities even as they were changing. And so this, in my mind, is very much a question about racial justice as it is just about solving a very important murder.
Is there a chance this could still be solved, or is it too cold?
I think there's always a chance. Certainly, most of the people who were probably key players, who were close to Alderman Lewis, who are likely to have been involved in the murder, they're gone. Others who may know something about it are still around, though, and don't necessarily want to talk about it that much. So I guess my position is at the very least, if this got a fresh look, we could at least answer some questions about why we're sitting here talking about it being unsolved. which I think is just as important in a lot of ways as actually finding out who pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Well, Mick, thanks. So you can read the full article on ProPublica.org. It's called The Murder Chicago Didn't Want to Solve. Mick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Take care.
Right.